it's required by most granting agencies, the National Science Foundation in the United States, the Environmental Foundation of Jamaica, the NEPA, whatever you want, the Wellcome Trust, where I used to get some funding from in the UK, all part of their management procedures. They talk the same language, but you have to put it in context. They read LFMs, they read log frame matrices. That's what they read. They don't read 20 pages of you going on pleading to get a grant and how important it is for these people to get a new housing and whatever, or a new system of sewage or whatever. They don't read that. You cannot submit that. It doesn't work. It has to be in this way. It has to be in a way where you have these goals, you have to have performance indicators, you have to have independent means of verification that the work is done, and you have to provide your assumptions. Otherwise, you won't get the money. You won't get the money. So the flip side is, this is how you get the money. You with me? Thanks, great. We're talking about project design here. So let me just get back to basics and we'll come right up to the pinnacle, okay? The approach provides a set of tools. They're called project design tools. And these tools basically have as their outputs planning, designing, implementation, and evaluation. So you see, if you have somebody looking at this, whenever you submit this, and you have somebody looking at it 18 months' time, whenever you submit your next report, or your third report, they compare back. So it's a means of evaluating, or evaluating. So evaluating a project. For its effectiveness, efficiency, and relevance. But the point is, it's not then that you have to worry about this. You can actually do this right up front. So you don't have to worry about these guys evaluating your project in 18 months' time, because you know you're going to pass. See my son doing CSEC right now? And I have him beating the MCQs for physics. Because you learn so much from doing MCQs in physics, but that's not the point. The point is that you do the work beforehand, you won't have to worry down the line. Now the log frame approach has two meanings. Put my teeth back in. No, they don't. Anyhow, the analysis phase and the planning phase, but the point is they're connected linearly. They're sequential. The analysis feeds into the planning. But there are, I mentioned there are sub-steps here. And there are 3 sub-steps here. We have to analyze the problems. We have to somehow massage these problems and turn these problems into attainable objectives. And then, once you have the objectives, you decide how the hell you're going to do it. Are you going to achieve these objectives? It's not rocket science. It's really not rocket science, but it's thinking strategically. And once you get to the planning stage, all we're going to deal with tonight, basically, is the production of the matrix. So the analysis phase involves these 3 levels, but the analysis phase feeds into the planning phase, and we're going to culminate tonight in the log frame matrix. With the time I'm given, I cannot go into activity schedules and input and cross schedules. I'm so glad, because they're so boring, those aspects. But they have to be done. But as I say, guys, this stuff is not rocket science. This stuff here, this isn't even LPG. You know, you can work with that stuff. Okay? Once you do this stuff here, you're not going to have to worry about this, because that's going to be Mickey Mouse. Now, as an ethicist, I feel that it's really, really important not to come here and throw stuff down your throat. I feel it's also really important to give you both sides of the coin. And some people cuss log frame approach. All right? Some people almost have an industry talking about the weaknesses of the approach. Okay? On the other hand, I want to be a little bit more progressive and say, listen, we have something, and 50 million flies can't be wrong. You might have one or two flies that don't like the carcass that they're feeding on, or, you know, but if there's 50 million others who like the carcass that they're feeding on, I think that's probably a pretty decent carcass, as carcasses go, and believe the flies. But notwithstanding, some major criticisms of the log frame approach. Okay, stop your whining. Yap, 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 yap. It produces